Hi guys, my name is Jodie and welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a mix between two. So I'm going to give you guys some kind of wintry, kind of cozy books to be reading this time of year for December and Christmas and winter in general. And then I have a stack of books that I haven't read but think would be perfect for this time of year as well. So yes, there's all different kinds of books mixed into this pile. And there should be something for everyone in this video, hopefully. So yes, if you're interested in some kind of wintry, festive recommendations of books I have and haven't read, then please keep watching this video. But I'll start firstly with the books that I have read and just think would be really fun to read this time of year. So this first book is absolutely not related to the festive season at all, but I did read it during the festive season, so maybe that's why I want to recommend it. Basically, this is a book that I just think is just so good to get lost in, and it just gave me such like a good feeling when I read it. And I don't know, like I just feel like reading it during like the festive period was just such a fun experience. And if you are looking for a book to get lost in, a book that has beautiful writing and feels magical, then I feel like this is a book that kind of fits that kind of theme. So that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab. So everyone on BookTube is probably aware of this book and has seen this book or even read it. It's very popular, but I just wanted to mention it because I feel like this is a book that's really accessible for so many people, because I feel like even if you're not a fantasy reader or this isn't something you usually pick up, I feel like it would still be suitable for you to read and I feel like you would still enjoy it. It's one of those books that is obviously fantasy, but I feel like it teeters on the edge of fiction, and from experience working in the bookshop we have had a lot of fiction only readers come in and buy this book after hearing about it and really enjoyed it, and that's really nice to see, and it's why I think it's just such a good book and I loved it when I read it. I mean, if all of these tabs aren't evident enough, then I don't know what is. I think maybe it's just because I read it during the Christmas period, but I wouldn't have wanted to read it any other time. For some reason, I just had such a fun experience that I feel like I wouldn't have got if I'd read this any other time of year. It's just so lyrical and beautiful and heart-wrenching, and it is really a roller coaster of emotions. So basically in this book we follow Addy, and so it starts in 1714 France, and she is kind of being pushed in to get married and kind of give up her freedom and live a life she does not want to. So to avoid this, one day she runs off from her wedding and she's just desperate for anything to get out of it, and she makes a deal with one of the dark gods in the night that you're not supposed to pray to, and she just says, you know, I will give you anything, like please just let me have freedom, let me experience the world, let me live. Our dark god, who is called Luke, I think is his name, I can't remember, it's L-U-C, so I'm not going to say Luke, I think it is meant to be pronounced Luke. He hears her and is like, yeah, okay, and he gives her freedom, and she doesn't realise she's basically kind of been tricked. So now, even though Addy has her freedom, she can go wherever she wants in the world and be whoever she wants to be. No one remembers her. You meet Addy, by the next morning you will have forgotten her and have no idea who she is. She can't write or anything or put her name anywhere. Her entire kind of life has been erased from existence. Her family don't recognise her or know her anymore, like nobody does, and she is totally alone in the world, and she is also immortal. So she's walking the earth for hundreds of years, and we go through different stages of her life and her dealing with this new set of circumstances and her meeting all these different people and experiencing all these different things, and it is just such an incredible story. It's so well written, the characters, there's themes of mental health in here which was very well done as well, and just so many amazing elements to this book. Like it's just absolutely amazing, and I love Luke so much. I know I shouldn't, but I do. I love me a morally grey character, and yeah, this book is just so good. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this. I just realised I've been talking about this book for so long, so I'm going to move on to the next one, but this is definitely a good one just for a book to really get lost in this time of year. So next is another one that's not necessarily Christmas themed, but it does have a very magical feel to it, and I just think it would be a lot of fun for younger readers and any age readers to pick up. If you're looking for something that's humorous and fun this time of year and a little bit magical, then I would definitely recommend Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend. So this is a middle grade, and this is kind of the alternative to Harry Potter. So if you're looking for an alternative to Harry Potter, then this is it. It's humorous, it's fun, it's got a magical school kind of trial thing going on in here, and in this we follow Morrigan Crow, and she has like a curse, and then on her 11th birthday she's about to face her doom when someone comes and leaves her from it basically and takes her to this magical kind of place, and this is a guy called Jupiter North, and Jupiter North is such a funny character. I absolutely loved his character. He joins a wondrous society, a place of mystery, magic and protection, and there's loads of trials and things like that. It's been a while since I read this, but I really enjoyed it, and I just think it's kind of fun to read. I know a lot of people did used to read Harry Potter at Christmas time because it had that same magical feel. So like I said, if you're looking for an alternative to that, then this is the book for you. There is 3 books in this series, and it's just really magical and fun and a nice cozy read. Then next we have one that is actually Christmas themed and is yet again a middle grade, and that is the Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. So I've read both this one and the second one, and I've recently purchased the 3rd book to read in December. And this again is just a really nice, fun, heartwarming, cozy, magical, Christmassy story. I really enjoyed this. It's just so inclusive and really cute, and the themes of friendship in here really do warm your heart. And obviously it is festive. We have Santa in here, we have the Christmasaurus, who's this kind of like magical kind of creature who befriends our main character, and I think they help save Christmas from what I remember. Just such a stunning like Christmas children's book, and it kind of reminds me of Tolkien at times, where like there's little like riddles in here, kind of like what Tolkien does in some of his books, and it's just so fun. Any age would enjoy this book. It really is a really heartwarming story, and it's one of those stories you don't really need to know much about. I think you can just go into this and you will enjoy it. Like, it's just really lovely, and it's definitely a nice festive read, and definitely one that will just make you smile and just feel the magic of Christmas. The next is one that's not related to Christmas, but for some reason I kind of associate with Christmas, and I just think would be like a fun read to read then, and it does have magical themes in it, and I just think it's a fun read anyway. But that is Neil Gaiman's Stardust, and yeah, I really don't know why this is something to me that screams Christmas, but it just does. I think it's just because it's kind of like magical, it's kind of short, so it's easy to fit in such a busy time of year, and it's just a really fun and like enchanting tale. Basically kind of reminisces upon fairy tales, which I kind of like, and it has like darker themes to it, a lot of interesting characters. There's a movie as well, which would be really fun to watch at Christmas. And something about this I just think is really fun. So basically this is set in the dawn of the Victorian era, and in this we follow a guy called Tristan, and basically Tristan is like head over heels for this gal. Her name's Victoria, and he like one day he's trying to win her affections basically, and she's kind of just like leading him on, but she's not really like interested. And I think he asks her for like, what would it take for you to marry me kind of thing, or something along those lines. And there's a falling star, they say, and he's like, if I got that falling star for you, would you marry me? And she's like, yes, but she's not serious, she's just joking. But he takes it as gospel, and he embarks on this journey to try and find the falling star to win Victoria's heart and her hand in marriage. And little does he know that there's a lot to his kind of family name, not necessarily family name, but he's not who he thinks he is, and there's like a wall that the humans just don't cross, and he obviously crosses it to go find this. And he embarks on this journey. He runs into kings and all these interesting people and creatures and all these kinds of things, and yeah, he finds the falling star and things change, and it's just such a good story. And I just think this is just like a nice magical one again for Christmas, and I just feel like people would probably appreciate it a bit more this time of year. I don't know, it's just a really fun read, and I feel like it would be nice to read at Christmas time. Next we have another middle grade, and again no Christmas themes to this one, but this is just a book that really just made me so like happy. It's so heartwarming and just like a lovely story, and it's just magical. Like, it's magical realism as well, so it's just like really nice to read, and it involves a lot of like nature. We have a young girl who's like figuring herself out and becoming who she's meant to be, and there's themes of family in here and relationships, and it's just basically about the lengths you'll go to like help the ones you love. And it's just such a nice story, and I loved it. And it is also inspired by the witch trials, which is another reason that I absolutely loved it as well. I've spoken about this a lot on my channel, but that is The Forest of Moon and Sword by Amy Raphael. This is an amazing book. I love this. We follow a girl called Art, and her mother is taken away being accused of a witch, and Art embarks on this journey to rescue her mother. And on this journey she learns so much about herself. She meets all these different people, and it's just such an amazing thing to like watch this character develop, well, to read this character developing, and all the magical realism and nature that's in here, and the way it's written as well. And there's a lot of kind of like feministic kind of things to this book, and it's just such a magical story and just really lovely, and it's just so nice to cozy up with. And especially when it's like talking about nature and like in the woods and stuff. I don't know why, and I've said this before, but anything to do with the woods or books set in the woods, it's just something I love in winter, and this one is just such a good one, and I feel like this does kind of have a wintry cover as well, and I just love this so much. If you're looking for a good middle grade, definitely pick this book up. So then next we have The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Maxey. So I feel like most people are probably familiar with this, and this is just an illustrated book with some beautiful spiritual messages in, and this is just one you can read any time of year, but it's just so lovely. It's about all the important things in life, and it's about friendship, love, kindness, and all of those really important things that we value a lot as a society, and especially at Christmas. I feel like Christmas is a time of year that really highlights like kindness and being loving, and just friendships and relationships and family, and all those really like important things are all really like in focus and at the forefront of everyone's minds during Christmas. As people say, it's a time for giving, and this is a book that will definitely remind you of that. It will make you smile. It's just really, really lovely, and this would also make a really nice gift as well. But yeah, I just love this so much, and I feel like most people will appreciate it, and it's just got some gorgeous wintry illustrations in here as well. And it basically is what it says on the front. We follow a boy who meets a mole, then a fox, and a horse, and he has different conversations with each about those themes, and it's just so lovely. And I just think it's so nice to read any time of year, but especially at Christmas, when those things are the things that everyone is thinking about during the season of giving. So this next one is actually Christmas themed, and that is A Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. So you guys know I love Tim Burton. I friggin' love this book slash film, absolutely love it so much, and I have like multiple different editions of this now. This is a picture book of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and this is of course one of the best ones to read. I read this I think on Christmas Eve last year, and I absolutely loved it, and I will probably reread it again this year. It's just so fun, and I don't think I need to give any other explanations as to what this is about or why you should read it, but this is just really nice to read every single Christmas, and I feel like that's a new Christmas tradition of mine. Okay, so moving on to the books that I haven't read but are like wintry kind of vibes. So not necessarily, have I got any? Oh, I do have 3 festive ones, and I am doing a festive holiday romance book haul very, very soon, so do look out for that if it hasn't already come before this video. Actually, it might have been up already. If it's up already, I will link it here and down below. If not, keep your eye out for that. I have 3 festive books here. So I have Chill Tidings, Dark Tales of the Christmas Season, and this is by the British Library, and this is a collection of spooky Christmas stories. So obviously if you're looking for something that's different, because a lot of Christmas books are like magical and romancy, if you want something dark, a little bit scary, then this is the book for you. I haven't gotten to this yet, but I'm very, very excited to read it at some point. Maybe not this Christmas, but I will eventually, and I cannot wait for the day that I do. So yeah, this is a really good like spooky Christmas book. And then next I have All About Us by Tom Ellen, and this is a holiday romance. I don't know much about it, but I did speak about it in my Christmas or festive reads last year, and I still haven't read it unfortunately, but I will link that video down below because I spoke about it there. I'm just very conscious of time because I don't want this to be too long, but this is basically just a festive romance. And then I also have All I Want for Christmas by Joanna Ballori, and this is one again I also spoke about in that video. This is another kind of sweet and nice holiday romance, as it's a hilarious and heartwarming festive treat, so potentially it's a rom-com. And yeah, I don't know anything else about this, but I just thought I would mention them because I've had them on my shelf for a while. And then next I have the wintry books that I think would be suitable for Christmas or just winter in general. So I have this stack here, and these are all ones that I haven't read, like I said earlier. So I have Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rask, I think is how you say it, and this is basically set in the Kingdom of Winter, so it doesn't get more wintry than that. It's a YA fantasy series, and it says 16 years ago the Kingdom of Winter was conquered and its citizens enslaved, leaving them without magic or a monarch. Now the Winterians' only hope for freedom is the 8 survivors who managed to escape and who have been waiting for the opportunity to steal back Winter's magic and rebuild their kingdom ever since. Orphaned as an infant during Winter's defeat, Mira has lived her whole life as a refugee. Raised by the Winterians' General Sir, training to be a warrior, and desperately in love with her best friend and future king, Matha. Or Matha. I think it's Matha. She would do anything to help Winter rise to power again. So when scouts discover the location of the ancient locket that can restore their magic, Mira decides to go after it herself. Finally, she's scaling towers and fighting enemy soldiers, just as she'd always dreamed she would. But the mission doesn't go as planned, and Mira soon finds herself thrust into a world of evil magic and dangerous politics, and ultimately comes to realise that her destiny is not and never has been her own. This debut fantasy is a lightning fast tale of loyalty, love and finding one's destiny. So this just sounds amazing. I honestly don't know why I haven't read this yet, and I haven't seen many people talk about it, but I think I might read this winter, maybe in January, but obviously it will be suitable for December and just this time of year generally, because it has a wintry setting and it'd be nice to read that. So another book that has a wintry setting is The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski, and this is one that I got in a fairy loot box, and I believe this is set in like a snowy Russia. It's inspired by Russian folklore, epic fantasy debut, and a thrilling page turner with romance, tragedy, magic and monsters that will stay with you until the very end. So again, another one with a similar kind of vibe to it. Really gorgeous wintry cover as well. Then next I have a thriller which is on my December TBR, so hopefully I do get to, and that is Pine by Francine Toon. So this is a book that's set in the Scottish Highlands in kind of like a remote town in the forest, and I don't know why, but it just seems wintry to me and just like something I'd want from a thriller this time of year. And basically this woman runs out of front of a car that's a father and a daughter, and I think her mum had gone missing or something had happened to her mum like years prior. They take this lady back to the house, make sure she's okay, and then the next morning she's vanished, and all these weird things are happening in the town, and the daughter is searching for answers regarding her mother, and yeah, just stuff's happening. And that's pretty much all I know. It's all I want to know. I don't like to know too much about thrillers when I read them. I like to go in knowing very little, because then you get a better shock value. But this one, it just sounds amazing. I think it's because it's set in the Highlands and like it's very remote and isolated. It's just something I want to read. Like when you think about like being isolated somewhere remote, I think of snow as well, so maybe that's why. But I just feel like this would be a fun thriller for this time of year, and I'm hoping that I'll read it in December as well. Then lastly we have one of my favourite books I read in 2020, and just one of my favourite books like to read this time of year. Like honestly, I could not recommend this enough. If you're looking for a fantasy book that's wintry to read this Christmas or like just in winter, then this is the book, and that is Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw. So I read this last year, I think in December, and this is literally the perfect book. Like, oh, I just loved my reading experience with this book so much. This is literally set in the most snowy environment ever. Basically this girl gets snowed in and she's a witch. She gets called like a walker witch, and there's like this woods that's like really creepy and mystic, and you know not to go in there, and she's kind of like sort of a protector of it. And one day this little town gets totally snowed in, and this boy had gone missing, and then he randomly appears to Nora in the middle of the worst snowstorm ever, like 2 weeks after he disappeared in this forest. And she's like, how the hell are you even alive? Like, what on earth? And obviously they start to get to know each other, and there's like a shift in the woods, and there's this other guy still missing, or someone was killed, and it's all kind of like mysterious, kind of whodunit, what happened, and there's a bit of romance, and it's just so friggin' good. The snowy setting in here made me like feel all like not cold, but do you know what I mean? Like it just gave me those really nice wintry vibes, and I really love the writing in here. It's so beautiful. The story, it's just really like atmospheric as well, and I honestly just can't recommend this book enough for winter. Like it's so good, and the title literally is Winterwood. Like it is absolutely perfect for this time of year, and I really want to reread it now as well, but I would definitely recommend this one 100%. Yes, that is all of my recommendations slash like wintry books slash festive books. I do have a December TBR up already with some festive reads on that I will have linked up here and below, along with the festive book haul slash holiday book haul as well, with all of the festive books that I've gotten recently. I'm hoping to try and get a lot of reading done in December, but we shall see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and maybe found a good recommendation out of it. If you did, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have read any of these and what your thoughts were, or if you're interested in any of these or plan to read them anytime soon. I would absolutely love to know. And if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new here and you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. I do also have a Patreon where I upload extra content such as reading vlogs. We do a monthly buddy read, we have a Discord, and I upload lots of behind the scenes content. I also have a few festive videos up on there. Just my come Christmas shopping with me video slash vlog thing. I also have a decorate the house for Christmas video going up on there, or is already up, and I also have a Christmas decor haul on there, and there'll be lots of other festive content going on over there. throughout the month of December. So if you're interested in any of that, then you can head to the link in the description box, where you can also find the links to all of my social medias and the videos and other things I've mentioned during this video. And if you did make it to the end of this video, leave a wintry or festive emoji in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of festive or cozy books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!